Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they're comfortable being weak. They've made peace with mediocrity. They've accepted softness as normal. And deep down, they know it. That's the fear that keeps them awake at night. Not fear of losing, but fear of waking up 10 years from now and realizing they never even tried. That they wasted their prime years playing it safe, living like cowards, pretending they had time. But let me tell you this. You don't have time. You're not guaranteed a second chance. You are running out of moments, and most of you are spending them scrolling and sulking instead of sharpening your soul. Discomfort is the currency of progress. People want the prize but don't want the process. They want the crown without the battle, but the harsh truth is this. Every inch of greatness is bought with pain. Every breakthrough comes after resistance. Every strong man you admire is forged in seasons of darkness. You think strength comes from books and podcasts? No. It comes from being crushed and refusing to stay broken, from losing it all and still showing up with fire in your eyes. That's mental resilience. That's adversity turned into armor. What terrifies me isn't death. What terrifies me is the idea of dying without ever becoming who I could have been, living a life so diluted, so tamed that my potential dies quiet and unnoticed. That's a nightmare. Most of you aren't living, you're just surviving, waiting, hoping something changes, but nothing will change until you become the change. You're hoping for motivation when you need discipline. You're hoping for an opportunity when you need to create one. Life isn't gonna knock on your door with a golden ticket. You either seize it or you die waiting. And make no mistake, the world is watching. It may not say it out loud, but it's watching how you respond to struggle, how you react when things go wrong. Every time you choose to fold, to complain, to retreat, it registers. People may not say anything, but internally they start respecting you less. You become the man who talks more than he acts, the man who dreams more than he works, the man who breaks when things get difficult. That's the most dangerous reputation to have because it becomes your identity. And once that identity sets in, it takes years of suffering to reverse it. The worst part, you know better. That voice inside your head that whispers you're made for more, you've been ignoring it, drowning it in distractions, muting it with comfort. But it never goes away. It's always there, waiting for you to man up and face the mirror. That's why you feel anxious. That's why you feel stuck. It's not your job, it's not your circumstances, it's the war between who you are and who you could be. And until you start aligning your life with that higher version of yourself, you will suffer silently, not because of what's happening to you, but because of what you're refusing to become. Look around, the clock's ticking. There's someone out there just like you with less talent, less resources, and more pain, but he's winning. Why? Because he didn't make excuses, because when adversity knocked, he answered. Because while you were debating whether it's worth it, he was already doing it. That should haunt you. You are being outworked by men who had every reason to give up, and instead they chose to evolve. And if you don't step up now, you'll look back and realize you lost the fight before it ever began, not because you weren't capable, because you were comfortable. You think you're safe where you are, you're not. The world is ruthless. Life doesn't pause because you're tired. It doesn't slow down because you're unsure. You either adapt or you get left behind. And if you're not mentally resilient, if you haven't trained your mind to remain calm under chaos, focused under pressure, disciplined under distraction, you will break. Not maybe, not someday. You will break. And the scariest part is you won't even realize it. It won't be some dramatic collapse. It'll be subtle. You'll just stop trying. Stop dreaming. Stop pushing. You'll become one of the millions who coast into oblivion, pretending they're content. But you don't have to. That's the beauty of pain. It offers a path to transformation. Adversity is not your enemy, it's your invitation. It's life asking you, how bad do you want it? And if your answer isn't reflected in your effort, then your answer is a lie. Real resilience means you fight even when your hands are bleeding, even when no one's watching, even when there's no applause, no comfort, no guarantees. You show up because the alternative, being average, is a death sentence to your soul. There's a version of you that's unstoppable, rootless, focused, confident, a man who doesn't flinch under fire, who leads, who builds, who dominates his domain. But that man isn't born by chance. He's created through pain, carved by setbacks, and fueled by the decision to never quit. Every hardship you're facing right now, it's not punishment, it's preparation. It's building the capacity for the life you say you want. And the sooner you embrace that, the faster you evolve. So don't run from the adversity, invite it, welcome it, say, come test me. Because every test you survive becomes a tool in your arsenal. And one day, when you're standing at the top, people will ask how you got there. And you'll smile, not because it was easy, but because you earned every inch through storms they'll never understand. There comes a point where you have to stop begging life to be easier and start demanding more from yourself. You don't need life to go easy on you. You need to grow so ruthless, so solid, that even when it throws its worst, you're still standing. People wait around hoping circumstances improve. But the real flex is when you improve so much that circumstances stop mattering. That's the moment you become untouchable. That's mental resilience, not the absence of chaos, but the refusal to fold inside it. You have to stop wishing for peace before you've earned the right to it. The storm is your teacher. It's where your muscles built. Everyone wants the reward, but no one wants the bruises. But let me tell you the truth, most are afraid to admit. There's no breakthrough without breakdown. The version of you admire, that higher, sharper, stronger man, that version is on the other side of the suffering you keep dodging. You will not become powerful by avoiding pain. You will become powerful by facing it, owning it, and outlasting it. Pressure is privilege. You think pressure is punishment? It's not. It's the spotlight that reveals your character. It's the sharpening stone. The gym doesn't build your body by being comfortable. It builds it by tearing muscle. Life works the same way. Adversity is the training ground of greatness, and most of you are skipping practice, wondering why you're losing the game. The world doesn't care how you feel, it only responds to results. And you don't get results by playing small, by making excuses, or by waiting for motivation. You get them by deciding right now that nothing will stop you again, that from this point forward, every setback is fuel, not failure. People ask me how I stay focused. The answer is simple. I remember the alternative. I remember what it felt like to be weak, to be broke, to be dismissed, laughed at, underestimated. I remember what it felt like to look in the mirror and feel like I wasn't doing enough. And I never want to feel that again. Use your pain as memory. Use your past as ammunition. Let it haunt you enough to never go back. That's the fire. That's what pushes a man past his limits. Not applause, not praise, but the memory of being less and the refusal to accept that ever again. You don't need more time, you need more grit. You need to get tired of your own excuses. You need to look your weakness in the face and say, you don't control me anymore. That's when things shift. Not when life gets easier, but when you get harder, more focused, more relentless, more obsessed with becoming the man you were meant to be. And that obsession, it's not madness, it's clarity. Because once you taste what it feels like to have control, to be strong, to walk into a room and know you built yourself from the ground up, you never go back to softness. You never trade that for comfort again. Mental resilience means your feelings don't dictate your actions. It means your emotions are not the driver, they're passengers. You don't skip the grind because you're tired, you show up because you're tired. You don't back off when it's painful, you lean in. Because pain is the payment, discipline is the tax of greatness. And if you're not willing to pay that tax, don't complain about being broke. Broken spirit, broken results, broken purpose. That's the price of comfort, and too many of you are paying it daily, thinking you're safe when really, you're just stuck. The most dangerous man is the one who refuses to be broken. Not because he's never hurt, but because he knows how to hurt and keep moving. He knows that storms don't scare him anymore. He's been soaked, he's been hit, he's been knocked down, but he gets up every time. Stronger, smarter, colder. He's not hardened from the world, he's hardened for the world. Because he understands this truth. Life will never go easy on a man who's meant to lead. And if you're called to lead, you better stop crying about the weight and start building the shoulders to carry it. You think you're tired now? Good. That means you're in the arena. That means you're finally feeling what it takes to evolve. You're not burnt out. You're just burning off the weakness. You're not lost. You're learning how to navigate pain. You're not failing. You're being reshaped. So don't quit when it hurts. That's the moment you're closest to the breakthrough. They'll laugh until you win, and when you do, the pain will make sense. The struggle will look small, and you'll stand there, forged in adversity, knowing every scar was worth it, because they didn't make you weaker, they made you real. Now's not the time to retreat. Now is not the time to rest. Now is the time to rise so aggressively, so defiantly, that adversity starts fearing you. Your resilience is your rebellion. Your consistency is your revenge. So fight like your future depends on it, because it does. Fight like you've been counted out, because you have. Fight like your life is the message to the world that says, try me again, I dare you. You've heard it all. You felt it in your chest. The weight, the fire, the truth. Now it's time to act, because none of this means anything if you walk away and stay the same. You don't need another speech. You need a decision. One made in silence. One made when no one's watching. The world won't hand you anything. It's not supposed to. That's the beauty of it. The only way out is through. You got to look at your adversity, spit blood if you must, and still move forward. Don't wait until you're ready. Don't wait until it's convenient. Winners are forged in the furnace of inconvenience. Mental resilience is a choice. You either bend or you build. You either fall or you fight. You either break or you break through. So here's your line in the sand. From this moment forward, you're not the man who quits. You're not the man who makes excuses. You're the man who adapts, endures, overcomes. The war isn't over, but you just became the weapon.